Alrighty, y'all. Make sure you guys are tapping that screen. I keep thinking this is TikTok and it's not TikTok. Tap the screen, share the live. I'm so used to saying that, so y'all just kind of bear with me here. I know I'm late. I was trying to get my YouTube video uploaded, and I never have had an issue with uploading my videos, like, and then going through like that. I just posted it on YouTube and on TikTok for today, so I thought it was going to be done before 5:30. So that's definitely something that's on my end. So I'm sorry for making y'all wait another 17 minutes, but we're here, we're alive, we're functioning. Can everybody hear me in the chat okay? I just want to make sure. Let me get some yeses in the chat. I know the YouTube does lag just a tiny little bit, so I'm gonna wait till I see some yeses, make sure y'all are good to go. We're gonna run over everything. We are gonna do a separate TikTok stream after this as well. So I'm swinging towards more of streaming on TikTok this weekend, just because it's such a big significant event, and I think more people are going to want to see it, and then we'll come back to YouTube. Maybe I'll make that decision tonight as far as where we're going to stream at tomorrow. But tomorrow is the first day of the significant severe weather outbreak that we're going to be seeing. We're going to be talking about strong tornadoes, intense tornadoes possibly starting tomorrow. There's still a lot of change that I think is going to come with this forecast over the next couple of days, as we've got a 5-day slate, guys, 4 to 5 day slate here of severe weather, and it actually starts with today. So I'm going to go ahead and try and run you guys through this here. We're going to go ahead and we'll talk about what we're looking at as far as the severe weather goes. And here for today, let's go look at this on Pivotal. Let's talk about this on here. You know what? Actually, let's do it this way. We'll do it this way. Excuse me, y'all. Heck yeah, Jamie, let's go. If you guys are in here and you're new, I appreciate y'all. If you're been watching for a while, I appreciate you. This is still a work in progress and getting the YouTube stuff set up. We're going to be trying to transition to YouTube full time here pretty soon. So we'll definitely be doing that. But we're going to look here on Radar Omega. This is our active risk zone for today. It's kind of wonky looking with our trough ejection that's coming in off the west here. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather ongoing as we speak here from Kansas all the way down to Oklahoma and into western Texas. This is going to include a level 1 risk out of 5 in that green shading. We're going to be watching this very, very closely here for damaging winds, maybe some small hail, really not looking at too much. Now here in the yellow risk area from Big Spring, Sweetwater, Snyder, Texas, Crosbytown Post, Spur, Lubbock, Brownfield area here, we do have that risk chance for up to 2-inch diameter hail. There is also a small 2% tornado risk here for this afternoon. We've got a couple cells not quite fired off yet, but there's a chance that we could see 1 or 2 cells here that go hail, maybe an isolated tornado. Really not thinking this is going to be too much of a tornado risk as far as this goes, but we're definitely going to be watching this tonight. If this does get any warnings while we're on TikTok live stream tonight, we'll cover those as we always do. Tomorrow, guys, is going to be the big day. Tomorrow is originally a couple days ago. Thursday was supposed to be the start of the severe weather event, and it was supposed to kind of slowly go into a bigger risk zone as we got into Friday and Saturday. But no, tomorrow is going to be the chance of popping off as far as that severe weather potential goes. We do have a level 1, level 2, level 3 risk of severe weather tomorrow. This is going to include parts of eastern Wyoming, western South Dakota, into Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas area here. We're definitely going to be watching. I love you too, Mom. My mom's in here. Make sure y'all say hi. But yeah, make sure you guys are, if you're in any of these areas for tomorrow, definitely be mindful. This is going to be a late evening overnight situation. And this setup that we're going to start to see tomorrow, that starts tomorrow afternoon, it is going to go Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Like, once this starts and pops off tomorrow afternoon, we're not going to see this severe weather end really until Monday afternoon gets here of the following week. So this is going to be pretty consistent as far as ongoing severe weather coverage goes for the next 4 to 5 days here. This storm system should be off the coastline by Tuesday of next week, which is crazy that I say that because it's only Thursday tomorrow. So we're definitely going to be watching this very, very closely. Now tomorrow, like I said, in that green shading here, we got a level 1 risk out of 5 here. This includes Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, eastern Wyoming, southwestern South Dakota and eastern Colorado. In this yellow slight risk here, we have a level 2 out of 5. And in the orange shading here, we have a level 3 out of 5. I am going to be 100% honest with you guys when I say this. There is a pretty decent chance tomorrow, if confidence can increase, and I'll show you guys why we're talking about that here in a minute. There is a small chance we possibly get some type of moderate risk zone here, maybe a small moderate here in Oklahoma or southern Kansas, and that is going to be due to the fact that that tornado risk could go up a little bit more. The learning models, this Colorado State University learning models, the analog models, are showing a 15% tornado risk tomorrow, which means if that does happen, we could see this increase to a level 4 out of 5, and if that's the case, we're dealing with very, very dangerous tornadic conditions tomorrow. We already have dangerous tornado conditions tomorrow, enough with the 10% hatch tornado risk that we're seeing, but this is a very, very interesting setup. If you guys watched my stream last week on TikTok, we kind of had the same exact risk zone, really pretty much in the same exact area. We had a 10% hatch tornado risk, we had a 5, a 10, or a 5 and a 2, and then we had a hail and a wind threat. What happened last week was the capping inversion. Basically, if you guys don't know what a cap is, it's basically a lid over the atmosphere. It keeps storms from going vertical and growing in size with in strength. Basically, it keeps storms from firing off. And so we saw that happen last week. Very, very much keeping severe weather, the tornado perimeters down tremendously. It kind of kept everything from happening. We had a couple cells that fired off after midnight last week when that storm system happened, but it was nowhere near what the Storm Prediction Center had it going as. We are kind of sitting in the same boat as last week. I do think the deep layer moisture content that we're going to have to support that severe weather threat and to support storms to actually fire off this time is going to be there. Now, the models, the NAM, the Triple HR, they're not clearly seeing that too well. They're really not showing storms firing off until after midnight on Thursday night into Friday morning, and then possibly showing like a little squall line developing between the Red River from Oklahoma City down to like Fort Worth, Dallas area. But another model run that I have not talked about a lot, we'll talk about this here in a minute, the HWRF run is showing an explosion of supercells starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and going overnight, with that tornado risk being substantial tomorrow. So if that model validates, we're in for a long day tomorrow. If the Triple HR and the NAM can be consistent with what they're showing, then we would be the best case scenario, and we would be looking at really not much of a severe weather risk until after midnight, and it really wouldn't be that much of a deal. It would be that conditional isolated threat if the tornado risk and wind threat, hail threat happen. So in this risk zone tomorrow, we'll go ahead and go over the outlooks of what we're looking at. That tornado risk is very, very much decent tomorrow. In the green shaded area here from the southeastern Wyoming quadrant, from Nebraska into Kansas into Oklahoma, Texas, we are looking at a 2%. In the maroon area here, you have a 5% risk zone from eastern Colorado into southern Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, and then into the enhanced risk area. We have that 10% hatch tornado risk. If you are in Colby, Kansas, Great Bend, Lennar, Dodge City, Garden City, Liberal, Liberal, Woodward, Oklahoma, Elk City area, Halls, hold up, make sure, Hollis, Childress, Texas, Memphis, Perryton. We've got Pampa as well, very, very much known areas we've covered in last year's severe weather events. This is a 10% hatch tornado risk, and what this means in the yellow here is there is a 10% chance of a violent EF2 or higher tornado within a 25-mile radius of a given point, and I would not be surprised, guys, if we do get a red 15% moderate risk tomorrow for that hail and tornado risk if this does continue to increase. Like I said, with the models not being too consistent, there's a chance that this stays where it's at. Hopefully that's the case, but if there is that uptick in that moderate risk does get issued, we will have a bigger tornado problem on our hands tomorrow than what's already being kind of explained at this point. We are going to go ahead and we'll look at what the models are showing this as far as tomorrow goes. I'll go ahead and show you guys this here. Let's go to the Triple HR model run. We'll go ahead and show this first. The Triple HR is being very, very, very wonky with this tomorrow. It's definitely showing that capping inversion being a factor. We are going to have morning time convection starting around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning around the Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas area. This is going to eventually develop into kind of like a cluster of heavy rainfall, which could help stabilize the atmosphere maybe tomorrow afternoon in the eastern parts of these areas. But I think once that boundary and that warm front set up and that lift and you get the low that comes off the Colorado Four Corner area, I think we're really going to be looking at a substantial warm sector that could produce, like I said, that widespread area. Now the Triple HR model run does have a couple storms firing. I believe this is the Triple HR. Let me double check. Yeah, the Triple HR does have a couple cells firing off here around 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon or on the Oklahoma, Texas line up here into Kansas, Nebraska. But if you watch what happens with these, they quickly fall apart. Meaning that capping inversion that's in place pretty much eats these storms. They really don't last long. And then you get a couple more that try to fire off around the 10 p.m. to midnight time frame tomorrow. And now we're getting into Friday. If you're up here where the warm sector is kind of sitting at, that warm sector line, you're really just going to have a lot of heavy rain. We could have a couple isolated supercells up here that could produce some tornadoes and some wind and hail, but up there is more conditional. We'll have more forcing up there for storms to fire off, but we're definitely going to be watching this as far as that tornado risk goes, but that tornado risk is going to be maximized over western Oklahoma, western Kansas. If you watch down here on the bottom of the screen, the Triple HR hinting at a couple cells and maybe a line segment developing after midnight. This would be like 12 a.m. to 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning into Friday, where we'll have ongoing convection and severe weather starting early Friday morning. So the difference between most of our severe weather coverages that we've done, this is not going to end once we get through the middle of the night. This is not going to, stop. This is going to go into Friday morning, where we'll have severe weather ramp up again Friday morning through afternoon Friday, and then into Friday night, and then Saturday. Like I said, it's going to be very, very consistent and fluid with the severe weather that's going to be happening over the next 4 days. We're not going to have that stopping period. This is what the Triple HR is showing around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. If you're in eastern Oklahoma from Tulsa down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, we're going to have possibly a little Boeing line develop. That would be more of a damaging wind risk that could potentially go up. I do think that there could be a 30% risk zone for damaging winds that could be upgraded on this risk for tomorrow as well. Excuse me, but that's something we're just going to have to watch. And then if you're in Iowa and Missouri tomorrow, you're just going to get widespread heavy rainfall to start your Friday morning, and then that'll move out, and we'll have cells develop with that low moving east in the afternoon and into the late night hours of Friday. So we'll talk more about Friday when we get those model ranges to kick in more as far as Friday goes. I do want to show you guys something here. The tornado parameters for tomorrow are literally off the charts. We've done nothing but pull PDS soundings, TOR soundings. If we're looking into tomorrow, these tornado parameters, guys, if any discrete cell, just like last week, can fire off along the warm sector and the dry line boundary here, we have the chance of seeing significant tornado damage, significant tornadoes. That EF2 or EF5 rated tornadoes are going to be possible. If you guys don't know as well, we are in an EF5 tornado drought. The last EF5 tornado that happened was back in 2013. I believe that was the Joplin, Missouri tornado. We've had an EF4 recently that was Rolling Fork, Mississippi last year, and then you had Mayfield, Kentucky the following couple of years before that. So we are in a significant tornado drought. Not saying that's what's going to happen. Hopefully that does not happen. But when you see parameters like this that I have circled, these parameters are maxed out on the models. Like, if we get any of these discrete cells to fire off in this area alone, we are going to see these storms go severe very quickly. Most of these storms that do fire off tomorrow, if they do get to that point, will go severe very, very quickly. We're going to see, 2 to 5 inch diameter hail possibly out of some of these storms tomorrow. So it's going to be a pretty significant day as far as severe weather goes. Those tornado parameters do continue with those storms that do develop overnight into the morning hours into Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma. You can see those start to get eaten with that line. Another thing I want to show you guys, this is what's called the HRWF model. It's a short-range model that we use as well. I haven't shown it too much because I've never really had to show it because the Triple HR and the NAM and the RAP usually do a pretty good job at showing convection. What the HRWF model has is actually pretty scary. I'm going to be honest with you guys on this. And if this is valid tomorrow, this is the only model run that I have found out of all of these that actually show what worst-case scenario could be if this does happen. If we get to about... what is this? This is going to be tonight. We'll have those storms fire off in Texas. We'll have that morning time convection tomorrow morning along Kansas and northern Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. That'll be non-severe tomorrow morning. At least it should be. As we get closer to the 4 and 5 o'clock hour tomorrow, look what happens on this model run. You get supercells developing down here, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas line. You get a couple discrete over here, but watch what happens after 6 p.m. around the kind of the magic hour time frame here. We watch multiple supercells developing in Kansas, and then you get a couple that start to develop out of Texas, but watch what happens here in Oklahoma. If this happens tomorrow night in Oklahoma, this is going to be around the 2 o'clock in the morning. This is 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday. If we get any discrete cells to fire up here in central Oklahoma, this is the concern for those violent tornadoes that are going to be possible. Oklahoma City, Shawnee, these areas are very, very much familiar with widespread tornadoes in the past and in many, many years in the past. If we see something like this develop, we're going to have that, tornado potential really, really ramp up. That's something we're going to have to keep very, very much on track of. That's, like I said, that's why we'll be live streaming this tomorrow. And then as we go into Friday morning, Friday afternoon, this model also picking up on widespread supercellular development across Arkansas and Missouri on Friday afternoon and Friday night. So we'll have to watch this as well. Just another day on Friday. I think Friday will more than likely go enhanced as well as far as upgraded severe weather risks go. We're going to be watching this very, very closely. The significant tornado parameters on this model run as well. Definitely showing a very, very primed environment for tornadoes to develop. Definitely something we're going to have to watch very, very closely as far as this goes for you guys. The NAM showing the exact same thing as well. Another piece of information that we're just going to have to kind of validate what we're looking at as far as that severe weather risk goes. I will show you guys the learning models for tomorrow. This is what the Colorado State University AI system puts out. This has been actually pretty accurate as far as the Storm Prediction Center issuing risk zones compared to what they have here. The CSU models actually have, like I said, that 15% hatch tornado risk over Kansas and Nebraska tomorrow. So we might see that upgraded risk zone possibly. They do have a 30% hatch tail threat, which is what we see now, and then they do actually have a 30% wind threat over that area. So we're going to see if this gets upgraded to moderate tonight. It would not surprise me if it does. I hope that's not the case, but there's that possibility that that could happen. Just, you know, in the incoming days, we're going to look at what the learning models are showing here, because I do think it's important. Is it going to happen? We don't know yet. That's something we'll watch. That is Thursday's risk zone. As we go into Friday, this will be our next risk zone on Friday. This will start Friday morning. This will go through the mid-afternoon hours of Friday into Friday night. We have a marginal risk of severe weather basically all across the Central Plains, the Ozarks, Mississippi Valley, the Midwest as well. This is going to go from like western Wisconsin and into eventually southern Minnesota, eastern South Dakota, Nebraska. We have a big old marginal risk set up here on Friday, all the way down to the Mexico and Texas line. We do have a slight risk of severe weather as well in that yellow shaded area for you guys. We'll have to watch out for this very, very closely as well. Let me actually transition over here to Radar Omega so I can show you guys it more zoomed in what we're looking at here. Here, there we go. This should work a little bit better for you guys. We'll pop this risk zone up here for Friday. There we go. There's Friday's risk zone. So most of Missouri in that level 2 out of 5 slight risk. Most of Iowa, eastern Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, northwestern Arkansas. Definitely something we're going to have to watch out here for very, very, very quickly. On Friday, this will, like I said, will be already ongoing Friday morning across Oklahoma and Kansas. This will start at 6 a.m. Friday morning and go to 6 a.m. the following morning. On Saturday, this risk zone is validated for. I would not be surprised if we get an enhanced risk of severe weather in Oklahoma and into Kansas and parts of something we're going to have to watch out for very, very carefully here in Arkansas and Missouri as well. I do think Friday might be a little bit lesser than what tomorrow and Saturday could be. We're going to talk about Saturday here as well in just a moment. But this is something we're going to have to watch for. I'll have a timeline for you guys in tomorrow's videos and in tomorrow's live streams as we go live tomorrow and cover tomorrow's weather, talking about Friday. We need to get to Saturday. Saturday, guys, I am going to be 100% honest with you on Saturday. Some of the learning models have a high risk day set for Saturday. Is that going to happen? We will have to wait and see what happens on Friday for this to happen. I'll show you guys what the learning models are showing. I want to be honest with you guys on this because it's definitely a possibility, a small possibility down the road, but there's definitely a decent possibility we could get our first high risk day of the year. And that is definitely what something that we're going to have to watch very, very, very carefully. Wherever that would be at, if that is. As of right now, we have a level 2 and a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather and slight risk of severe weather set for Saturday. That level 3 risk was added last night here to Oklahoma City, Norman, Tulsa, which is going to be central Oklahoma, northern Texas, and southern Kansas. This is something we're going to have to watch for here very, very carefully. Wichita into this. Norman, like I said, Shawnee, you know, your very highly populated areas here. Your National Weather Service sits here as well, so I know they're watching this very closely. Our slight risk of severe weather does extend from Killeen, Brady, Texas, Abilene into Fort Worth, Dallas metro area. This will extend into eastern Kansas, central Kansas, into northwestern Arkansas. That includes Fort Smith, Fayetteville area here. We're also going to be watching for as well into Missouri. This is going to include Jefferson City. This is going to include Columbia, Boonville, Springfield. I think this risk zone on Saturday might get clearly moved around a lot. We're going to have that risk zone all the way up into central and northern Wisconsin and eventually up here into the Canada line potentially as we go into that Saturday time frame. But Saturday's forecast still has a lot of critiquing to do, I think. There's definitely that possibility. I will show you guys what the learning models are showing just because this is a significant event here. This was put out this morning. Colorado State University's learning AI system does have a huge moderate risk being issued from this for Oklahoma, Kansas, and into parts of most of Missouri and in southern Iowa. And they do have a small high-risk day being put in central and northern Missouri on Saturday. If this validates, we are in for a world of interestingness on Saturday if this does in fact happen. But we have to see what happens on Friday for this to be very, very mindful of. But definitely going to be seeing more than likely a moderate risk being issued is more than likely for Saturday. We're still 3 days out from this event happening. They got maximum probability sitting at 0.61, which is on that high risk zone line. That's something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on for you guys. That's just kind of what the learning models are putting out for this. That is going to be Saturday's risk zone. As we go into Sunday, yes, we have another risk zone on Sunday, guys. We have another slight risk of severe weather for Fort Worth, Dallas metro area, northwestern, not Oklahoma, northwestern Louisiana into Arkansas. This does include Little Rock. We've got Tulsa again on the outskirts of there of that slight risk zone. Fort Smith. This is East Oklahoma. We've got eastern Kansas again on Sunday in a slight risk of severe weather. This is that level 2 shading out of 5. We've also are going to have the Missouri into this, central Missouri, St. Louis, Illinois. Or St. Louis in here getting into this in Missouri. We've also got Illinois, eastern Iowa. This also goes into southern Wisconsin. I think this will still have some critiquing to do as far as that forecast goes as well. They do not do a day 3 moderate. Abraham, moderate risk zones will only get issued on day 1 or 2. High risk zones only get issued on the day of. That is definitely something that the policy goes off of the National Weather Service. They won't do it. They'll do an enhanced as far as 3 days out, but you won't get it until day 2. So if day 2 goes, or if it goes moderate, we won't know until Friday gets here. So that'll be something we'll have to watch. On Monday, we don't have a risk zone yet, but I do expect there to be some type of slight or marginal risk of severe weather from Louisiana all the way up into the Ohio Valley. That's something we'll watch very, very closely as far as that severe significant weather goes into Monday. But as far as this goes, guys, this is going to be a very, very dangerous day starting tomorrow into tomorrow night. Me and Rochelle are gonna be going back and forth with the live streaming. That way we can both get sleep and rest throughout time. But I do expect to be on live stream for at least 40 to 50 hours over the next 5 days. It is going to be very, very, very busy, guys. It's going to be a very, very dangerous setup that we have on tap for the next couple of days. Hopefully after this, we maybe get a break, but there are models already showing a storm the next following week that we'll have to watch out for. So that's another thing that we're going to be keeping out for. I'll have the timing as far as the short range models goes for you guys here later on in the next couple of days. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. We'll talk more about it in the live stream on TikTok as well tonight. Just another piece of information that I'll give out to you guys. I'll show more of this on the YouTube channel tonight, but if you guys are in these risk zones for the next couple of days, we've got to be very, 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 very much mindful. Have a severe weather preparedness plan. I could sit here and I could go over all the ingredients in the atmosphere for the next 5 days, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. Every single one of them are very much supportive. We don't lack anything. The only issue we're going to have that's going to keep these storms from going off the next couple of days is maybe a capping inversion. I still think that's going to potentially get broken. Depending on what happens tomorrow, we'll set the stage for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think. So, like I said, a very, very busy day, guys. Tomorrow, I'm planning on potentially doing the live stream on TikTok. It would start at, 3 or 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And the reason I might do it on TikTok is because YouTube doesn't let me do streams longer than 12 hours without refreshing and resetting the stream and restarting it. It's just a thing that they have. So we might just do it on TikTok because Rochelle will be doing it on TikTok probably as well. So we'll plan on doing the live stream the next 4 or 5 days on TikTok, guys. So make sure you guys do follow me on there. The link is in my bio for that on here. I think most of you guys are on there. But going forward after this weekend, we're going to be pushing the YouTube channel out as far as that goes because I want to be on here more. It looks better on here as far as the streams go. That and y'all can actually see my face. So if you guys have any questions about the weather here, please feel free to go ahead and give me some questions. I'll try and answer them as quick as we can. I will be getting off here in just a little bit. I wanted to do a little bit of a brief live stream to cover this for you guys tonight. We'll do a TikTok live stream here in a couple hours after me and Rochelle eat dinner. So if you guys got questions, I'll try and answer them. Jay in the chat, I'm going to guess Rochelle's going to try and interpret that for me if she can. Abraham, it may have. I don't remember. I've never seen one, at least from my time, I can remember. You know, they do allow you to do 12+ hour streams, Ryan, but it doesn't let you archive them or save your live streams in your videos, so that's why I would do it. No face LOL? Yep. Yep. We'll go back. We'll have a busy weekend on TikTok again. I just think it might be better to get the word out over there a little bit better. The algorithm will push it out a little bit more. Does Saturday hide the highest tour? I don't know what Saturday looks like yet. I don't think with the models, the NAM or any of them are quite in range yet for Saturday. I can double check here and see for you guys. We can look real quick and see, but I don't think they do. look at the NAM tomorrow, guys. The NAM just has ridiculous tour parameters. Into Saturday, right now, Saturday, it's iffy on Saturday. Yeah, there it is. So there's Saturday's risk zone. They've got it into, more into Oklahoma and Kansas on the tour parameters, but we'll have to wait until the short range models kick in with that. But yeah, like I said, I would run over the dew points, the temperatures, the CAPE, all that stuff with you guys, but it's all pretty much there. We're not lacking anything. That's just kind of like a little bit, I feel like a waste of a time to kind of go over that. I might go over it on the TikTok stream tonight, but I wanted to get the risk zones out to you guys, kind of the timing of what we're looking like. We'll have more timing in tomorrow's stuff as well. As far as, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday go, like I said, tomorrow we will be on live stream around 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time. That is the plan. I will be on until about 1 or 2 a.m. covering those storms. Rochelle will take over, I think, from 2 a.m. to 6. And then I'll be back on at like 7:30, and we'll be streaming all day on Friday. So tomorrow, the chances of the cap breaking, I do think there's a pretty good chance. I want to see what the 000 Triple HR run do and the NAM do tonight. I'll have to look over these tremendously. If we get an upgraded risk zone tonight or tomorrow morning that goes to moderate for tomorrow, I will definitely think the cap is going to break. As of right now, I think it's very, very conditional. Once again, it's going to be kind of sitting like last week. If you guys watched last week's live stream on TikTok, we sat 8 hours on TikTok stream we got on at like 4 p.m. and we were on until 1 o'clock in the morning and didn't get really much of anything. So, which was it's just great news. I don't want to see anything happen, but as far as the outlook being off, it was definitely off as far as that conditional risk zone went. So, I think there's a good chance it'll break for sure. We'll just have to watch it very, very closely as far as that goes. We will be on live stream just in case. I do expect widespread damage if things do start to pop off. I think we'll kind of get the idea of what's going to happen as far as the overnight hours go tomorrow with what happens tomorrow afternoon. So I think if storms can fire off and stay healthy between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, then I will know for sure what's going to happen Thursday night. But there's a lot of things that are going to happen tomorrow morning to see what's going to happen as far as that goes. Yeah, we're going to have to grind this out, guys. Tomorrow's going to be grind day 1. We're going to do it, though. We're going to get through it. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to supply up on energy drinks. We're going to be good to go. We're going to get my Alani's. Sponsored by Patrick. But it will definitely be an interesting day. Like I said, I'm going to get up super early tomorrow morning, guys. That way I can get content out to everybody before things start to ramp up and get crazy. I want to have my videos on TikTok and YouTube uploaded by like no later than 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So look for those tomorrow morning. Do go watch the video and like and comment on the video that I just posted before the stream. If you guys don't have any more questions, like I said, we plan on doing the stream on TikTok this weekend. I was going to do YouTube, but I just think that it might be better over there just for this weekend because more people need to know what's going on. We're still new over here, so. Yep, y'all. It's going to be exhausting. Very, very much exhausting. I'm going to be ready for a vacation after next week is over with, or after this week is over with for sure. If I have any more questions, anything else y'all want to know? Give y'all about 2 more minutes here. If we go high risk, I will say this right now, guys. I've always told myself this, and it's always going to be this way. If we do get a high risk day at some point this week, if it does happen, I will be on stream for 24 hours. So if it happens Saturday, I will be on stream from 6 a.m. Saturday morning until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. That is something I always told myself I will do if we get that high risk zone. It is very, very rare to get a high risk day. So it's definitely going to be possible if those learning models are showing it. So we're going to keep you guys safe. If you guys are in these risk zones, we're going to keep you guys alert. Just have a way to get those weather alerts on your phones. Yeah, I want to show you guys something. We have our first tropical wave of the year, and I didn't find out about this here until a friend told me here a little bit ago. I want to show you all this because it's so interesting. We have our first 10% risk zone of the year for hurricane season. We have our first little tropical wave developing. Let me get it up on here. Oh, I gotta go to NHC. I'm tripping out here for a minute. Yep, there it is. So we have our first disturbance of the year, guys. Tropical disturbance, whatever one. It's a 10% chance of this developing. It's really not going to do anything, but it is there. It is sitting out over the Atlantic Ocean right now. Yeah, Mandy, I think that's what it would be for. It would be Saturday, yeah. If it does. That's a long shot question. But yeah, guys, we have our first 10% risk of the year. Let me see if I can pull it up on the on Radar Omega real quick. I want you guys to see this because it's funny as heck to me. We are just now ending April, and we already have a tropical entity trying to develop over here off the Atlantic Ocean. I gotta turn on my my hurricane stuff so we can actually see it. Where is it at? Excuse me. I know I have it on here somewhere. There it is. Sitting right there. We got a 10% chance of development in a 2-day period and a 10% chance of a storm in a 7-day period. So look at this little blimp just sitting out over the Atlantic Ocean. First time I've seen this yellow oval-shaped polygon since, I believe, November of last year. So the fact that we're already getting these little blimps to pop up, gonna be interesting this year, y'all, for sure. But our little blimp is sitting there. That is a low pressure over the ocean trying to develop. I highly doubt it's actually going to develop, but we'll see. But alrighty, y'all. I'm going to end the stream here. Get me and Rochelle some food, and then we're going to do a TikTok live stream. I'm going to shoot for 7:30, 8 p.m. time zone central here. So here in about an hour and 15 minutes, we'll run it through with everybody on TikTok. And then I will see you guys all on tomorrow's live stream on TikTok if you don't make that for the live weather coverage for tomorrow. Make sure you guys go watch the video that I did post today. I appreciate y'all for watching, all the love and support. We are going to get through this week. It is going to be a grind. All of my mods, all of my teams, I appreciate you guys as well. It's gonna be a great week. It's gonna be great. We got this. We're gonna do amazing things. Remember, guys, our motto is educating people and saving lives. That is something I will always do. That is something we will always do as a team. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow the live stream is gonna be, I'm aiming for 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. kind of that rough time frame. I appreciate it, Catherine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Rochelle does all the work behind the stream, guys. So make sure you guys give Rochelle some love whenever you guys see her on stream tomorrow night. Make sure you guys give her love, please, please, please. Would not be where we are at if it was not for Rochelle. But alrighty, y'all. I'll see y'all later in the next video. Appreciate y'all for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.